No one expected what unfolded inside Master Kim's martial arts academy that day. Certainly not Tyler Garrison, a seasoned black belt, a man whose confidence filled every corner of the gym. And definitely not the curious parents who came just to watch their kids trained out. It began with what seemed like a joke. Tyler looked across the dojo at a woman sitting quietly in sweatpants and a loose shirt, scrolling through her phone. A woman who looked, in every way, ordinary. "Hey, how about a little demonstration?" he said loudly, gesturing toward her. "Let's show the class what happens when someone without training tries to square up." What happened next would change the atmosphere in that dojo forever. Rebecca Thompson wasn't there to spar. She was there for her daughter Chloe, a shy 16-year-old who had found confidence in the discipline of martial arts. Rebecca, 38, lived a simple life. No makeup, just gray sweats and hair tied back in a loose bun. She never sought attention, never tried to stand out. And yet, something about her made the moment feel ... tense. She had barely stepped inside when Tyler made his announcement. The room grew silent. The students paused mid-stretch. Parents turned to look. "You, ma'am," Tyler pointed, walking across the mats. "You ever try martial arts before?" Rebecca's eyes narrowed, but her voice remained calm. "No, I haven't." Chloe grabbed her mother's arm. "Mom, don't. Let's just go." But Tyler wasn't letting this go. His tone had changed, laced with sarcasm and performance. "Just a quick match. Nothing serious," he said with a smug grin. "For the class, you know, a bit of fun." That word echoed in Rebecca's mind as memories she'd buried. Deep began to stir. She rose from the bench slowly, gently squeezing Chloe's hand. "It's okay, honey." There was nothing about her stance that seemed threatening. Nothing about her voice that suggested she'd been in a ring before. And that's exactly what made what followed so shocking. Tyler smirked, bouncing on his toes like he was prepping for a real fight. "Don't worry," he chuckled. "I'll take it easy on you. Wouldn't want to hurt a soccer mom." The dojo filled with uncomfortable glances. A few laughed nervously. Some parents looked down at their phones, avoiding the moment. But Rebecca, she simply nodded and stepped onto the mat. Gone was the casual, tired posture. She moved with the calm grace of someone who knew the outcome before the fight began. What no one in that room knew was this: Rebecca Thompson used to be known by another name, Rebecca Chen, a silent force in the world of professional MMA, 3-time world champion. Nicknamed the Silent Storm, she had retired young, disappeared from the spotlight. After the tragic death of her younger brother, who died on the way to one of her matches, Rebecca left it all behind. The titles, the sponsors, the life of combat, and she promised never to fight again, until now. Tyler circled her like a lion, throwing mock punches into the air. "You sure about this?" he taunted. Rebecca's eyes locked onto his with a quiet calm. "Just one condition," she said. "When this ends, you apologize to your students." The smirk on Tyler's face widened. "Lady, I hope you brought an ice pack," he charged in, a clean, fast right cross. It would have connected with anyone standing still, but Rebecca wasn't standing still. She moved like mist, tilting her head barely an inch. The punch missed by a hair. Tyler stumbled, blinked. Confused out, he launched a second attack. Jab, cross, hook. All sharp, all fast, all useless. She evaded everything. Gasps rippled through the dojo. It wasn't just that Tyler missed. It was the way she moved. Minimal, precise, effortless. She wasn't blocking. She didn't need to. She saw every strike. Before it came, Tyler's punches got sloppier, his breathing heavier. Sweat poured down his face, and Rebecca hadn't even begun. She stepped slightly closer, not attacking, just watching, reading his movements, measuring his rhythm. Then, with a simple pivot, she tapped his ribs with her palm. Light, controlled, but meaningful. The message was clear. If I wanted to hurt you, I could have. The dojo was now silent. Even the youngest kids sensed they were watching something extraordinary. Tyler growled in frustration. Stand still and fight. Rebecca remained still, calm, waiting. Then he lunged, a desperate takedown attempt. His final mistake. Rather than resist, Rebecca stepped into the move, redirecting his momentum with fluid precision. She guided his body to the mat like a wave crashing into shore. Boom. Tyler slammed face first into the mat, flat on his stomach. The sound echoed like a thunderclap. A room full of gasps. Eyes wide, hands over mouths, Tyler lay there, stunned, embarrassed, exposed. When he looked up, Rebecca was standing above him, extending a hand. I trained for 13 years, she said softly. Long before I stepped into this room. Tyler didn't take her hand. He stood on his own, face flushed. You? You're not just some mom, he muttered. No, she replied. I'm a mother. I'm also someone who chose peace over pride, but I never forgot who I was. The silence returned. But this time it was reverent. Chloe stepped forward, voice trembling with awe. She's Rebecca Chen, she said. 3-time world champion. Gasps. Phones came out. Students searched the name. Faces changed as they found old videos, highlight reels, interviews. They were standing in the presence of a legend. Tyler's eyes darted between his class and the woman he'd mocked. He opened his mouth, then shut it, then tried again. I was wrong, he said finally. To you, to them. That wasn't a lesson, it was ego. Rebecca nodded. The strongest thing a fighter can do is choose not to fight. Tyler turned to his class, voice quieter now. Everyone, I made a mistake. I let pride lead me. What you saw today, that's what real martial arts looks like. Not power, not domination, but wisdom, control, grace. Rebecca picked up her jacket and turned to Chloe, who smiled up at her with tears of pride. As they walked toward the door, the dojo remained silent, the lesson echoing in every mind. Not all warriors wear belts. Not all strength is loud. And sometimes the quietest people carry the strongest storms.